Okay, so chapter 4 is about registration of business entity. So after this, okay, I want you to, so that's why I want you to finalize your business idea so that you can, once you have finalized the business idea, you can start to register your business entity. Okay, because before you want to sell the product through online, of course you need to register the company first to make it legal, to avoid anything that is against the law. So if you have already finalized the business idea, then you can proceed with this process, which is registration of business entity. Okay, so kita akan go one by one. Simple je. Alright, so this chapter discuss the responsibility of business operators in Malaysia to register their businesses with the authorized agency. It also discusses the disadvantage and disadvantages the various type of business registration. Alright. Okay, objective. To identify the type of business entity in Malaysia. Okay, so after this, kita akan go through one by one what are the type of business entity that we have in Malaysia. Specifically, and then to provide an understanding of the importance of registering a business, and then to explain business registration procedures, and also to discuss a legal aspect related to business formation. Learning outcome. Okay, to identify 5 types. Okay, there are 5 types of business entity that are available in Malaysia. And then to explain, students should be able to explain the advantages and disadvantages of each business entity. Describe the step to register the business entity, list the government organisation involved in the registration of the business entity, and also explain the similarity and differences among the business option. Okay. Alright. Okay, kita terus proceed. Okay, on the introduction part, it is the responsibility of all business operators who conduct business activity with the objective of making profit to register their businesses. The registration works to legalize a company business activity. So in your case, okay, even though you this is only a project assignment, which is you need to sell the product to the market. Of course, you still need to be responsible to register the company, okay, to register your business, to make it legal, okay, and also to ensure that it is not against the law, alright. So in your case, you must hire one group leader, okay, choose one group leader. And then the group leader must register the business in the SSM. Okay, nanti I will show to you later. And then business registration in Malaysia is managed by the Companies Commission of Malaysia, ataupun in Malaysia, in bahasa kita panggil Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia, and an agency under the Ministry of Domestic Trade, Consumer Affairs, Cooperative and Consumerism. Okay, so nak register kat mana? Register in their website. Basically, there are 4 types of business entity that must be registered with the SSM, which is sole proprietorship, partnership, limited liability partnership, private limited companies. So these are the 4 type of business entity. Later kita akan tengok one by one what is the differences between each of these business entities. And then we also have another type of business entity, which is cooperative. Okay, cooperative is another option of doing business. Cooperative have different objectives and the registration must be done at the Cooperative Commission of Malaysia, Suruhanjaya Koperasi Malaysia, SKM. Alright, so other than cooperative ataupun kita panggil koperasi. Koperasi tu register under SKM, Cooperative Commission Malaysia. Other than that, register under Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia SSM, in term of the sole proprietorship, partnership, limited liability partnership and private limited company. Okay, kita akan go through one by one which one that you want to choose, okay, for your business project later on. Each of the entity above has its own advantages and disadvantages, which should be considered by an entrepreneur prior to registration. Okay, so that's why I want you to discuss among your group, okay, in order to choose which are the business entity that you want to register. Either you want to go for the sole proprietorship or partnership. Okay, so these are the two things that you need to discuss among your group members. But I'm strongly encourage you to register for the sole proprietorship. Okay, because when you want to register for the partnership, the document required, there are many documents will be required in order to set up the partnership. So it might be easier for you to register under sole proprietorship to ease the process. Okay, so this is my advice lah, right? Okay, so kita take a look at the first type of business entity in Malaysia, which is the sole proprietorship, ataupun in Malay we call it as a apa? Sole proprietorship in Malay. Pemilikan tunggal. Pemilikan tunggal. Pernah dengar pemilikan tunggal?
Tak pernah, madam.
Tak pernah. Okey, mungkin ada yang pernah belajar sebelum ni dekat sekolah. Saya rasa ada kot subjek apa, saya tak ingat. Okay, anyway, sole proprietorship. What is sole proprietorship? Sole proprietorship is a business entity that is solely owned, funded and managed by one owner only. Sole proprietorship is the most popular and the simplest or easiest form of business entity in Malaysia. So that's why I want you to register under the sole proprietorship business entity, because it is the simplest or easiest form of business entity in Malaysia. Okay, so whereby in your group later on, okay, choose one group leader. So one group leader is the owner of the business. Alright, so he or she must register the business in term of the sole proprietorship through the Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia website. Alright, so the rest tu just the workers of the business. Okay, one owner and the rest is the workers lah. Okay. Then number 2 we have partnership. Okay, second type of business entity, we have partnership. Okay, a partnership is a business entity that is owned by 2 or a maximum of 20 people. Okay, however, for professional businesses such as accounting, legal, quantity surveyor, architects, engineer firms, etc., the maximum number of members could be up to 50 people. Alright. So this one partnership. Okay, partnership pun okay if you want to choose partnership business entity. Cumanya you need to everyone in that group, okay, everyone that within in the group must prepare with the documentation in order to register for the partnership. Itu je. So instead of one people, so all of the members need to prepare for the documentation. So I think it might be easier lah if you only have one member to settle for the registration. So you choose the sole proprietorship. But at the end of the day, it all depend on your decision. I'm just giving you the advice. There is no right or wrong. Okay, if you want to opt for the partnership, then you just proceed and be prepared for the documentation. That's all. Okay, itu saja. Tak ada apa-apa. Tak ada masalah pun. No problem at all if you want to choose for the partnership. Okay, nanti kita akan tengok what are the advantages and disadvantages lah. Okay, both sole proprietorship and partnership business entity are registered under the Business Registration Act 1956. Okay, so these the two business entity, okay, under the Business Registration Act, Akta Business Registration Act lah. Registration pendaftaran, Akta Pendaftaran Perniagaan. Okay. Then we have limited liability partnership number 3. Okay, number 1 tadi apa? Business entity number 1?
Sendirian partnership.
Sole proprietorship. Number 1 is sole proprietorship. Number 2? Partnership. Okay.
Partnership.
Alright, then number 3 we have limited liability partnership. So what is the differences between limited liability partnership and also partnership? Kita tengok. Limited liability partnership, LLP, is an alternative business vehicle regulated under the Limited Liability Partnership Act 2012, which combine the characteristic of a private limited company and a conventional partnership. Okay, this one only special for the business vehicle. Okay, so if you want to open up a business vehicle company, you can register the company under the limited liability partnership. Dia memang fokus on the business vehicle. Okay, nak jual kereta lah. Okay, so in your case, adakah any one of you want to open the business vehicle company? Kot lah ada kan. Okay, if you want to open up a business vehicle, you can choose this business entity to register with the SSM. Right? The differences is LLP combine the characteristic of private limited company and also partnership. Dia combine lah, maknanya there are two characteristic of which is private limited and also partnership under LLP. And then LLP has a legal personality separate from partner. Separate legal entity like private limited company. Okay. Kalau previously, the previous business entity, okay, so proprietorship and also partnership, there is no separate entity between the owner and also the business. Okay, so meaning to say, owner and the business is one entity. Okay, so in case if the partner is bankrupt, okay, or losing money, then the company, okay, the business can take the partner's personal asset, okay, to pay for the losses. Alright, same goes to the partnership. So meaning to say, if you choose to open a business entity of sole proprietorship and also partnership, in case of the bankruptcy, okay, your business can take your personal asset in order to pay for the losses that you encounter previously. Okay, slightly different with LLP. Okay, LLP, they have separate legal entity. So meaning to say, whenever the LLP company went to bankruptcy, okay, the company cannot use the personal asset owned by the owner. There is a separate legal entity. Okay, meaning to say, the company only can use the company asset only, not the owner's asset. Alright, so you get the differences? Nampak kan beza dia di antara differences between sole proprietorship and partnership. Company and owner is one entity. Okay, in case of if the company got profit, okay, the owner also can enjoy the profit can use their personal asset. Alright, but in case of the LLP, there is two separate entities. So meaning under LLP, if you want to buy the product or if you want to buy asset under the company, you must use the company's name, not your personal name, not your personal member's name, for example. Okay, so because the entity is separate from the business. Business and owner is separate legal entity. So in case of bankruptcy, company will not take over the personal asset of the owner. Okay, company only take over all the asset within the company's name. Like private limited company. Nanti kita akan tengok one by one. Okay, so in other way to explain it, kalau bankrupt, okay, company akan take over personal asset of the owner tu lah. Contohnya dia ada rumah, dia ada kediaman, dia beli rumah, dia ada many houses, many land under the owner's name. Okay, company akan take over that. Okay, in order to pay for the losses. So itu adalah dia punya disadvantages lah. And then LLP has a perpetual succession and offers benefit of a private limited company without the painful reporting requirement. Okay, so LLP has perpetual succession ni maknanya kita boleh grant the right to other people, okay, to take over of the company. Alright. Okay, more on the LLP. LLP concept also supports startup, small, medium enterprise SME, joint venture and venture capital to grow without having to worry too much about personal liabilities, personal asset and strict compliance requirement. Because there are two separate entity between company and also owner. Okay, so the LLP not having to worry too much about the personal liability and also personal asset because the company will not take over the personal liability or personal asset. An LLP can be formed by a minimum of 2% to unlimited number of members. Okay, dia punya members dia unlimited lah. And also minimum is 2%. Okay. Number 1, we have sole proprietorship. Number 2, business entity is partnership. Number 3 is limited liability partnership. And then this is number 4, private limited company. Ataupun normally we can see from the company name yang ada perkataan sendirian berhad. Private limited sendirian berhad. Okay, so what is sendirian berhad private limited company? It's a business that is registered as a company, is allotted under the Companies Act 1965. So companies untuk private limited company, dia register under different act which is Companies Act 1965. If you choose to register your business as a sole proprietorship or partnership, that is under Business Registration Act. But for private limited company, it is under the Companies Act 1965. A company is a body that has a legal entity separate from members of the founder. Okay, so sama juga konsep dia, same concept with limited liability partnership. They have a legal entity separate from members of the founder. Right, so company will not take over lah of the personal asset in case of the losses, in case of the bankruptcy. The concept of a company is based on several individuals who are entrepreneurs contributing to a bigger capital, sourcing to make the business easily manageable and expandable. Okay, so actually it's a growing process in terms of the business. Normally, okay, when you want to start a business, normally you will register as a sole proprietorship. And then if you have partner to invest in your company, invest the capital, then you may choose to register it as a partnership business entity. And then when the business is growing up, okay, more and more people want to invest in your company, then you can choose to register the business under private limited company, okay, to have a bigger capital sourcing, okay, to make the business easily manageable and expandable. Okay. kenapa kena okay, why don't you maybe there is a question, why don't you just stay in partnership? Okay, why we must open up private limited company when we want to grow the company? Okay, of course, because this is to protect the owner's asset, the owner's capital. Okay, in case of if you are having any problem, for example losses or bankruptcy, so that the company will not take over of the personal asset. That is why whenever you are having more investors that want to invest in your company, please register, okay, your company under the private limited company. And then several improvements have been made in the Companies Act 2016, whereby the total number of members or partners in a company start from a minimum of one or single director to a maximum of 50 individuals. Okay, so previously, if I'm not mistaken, if you want to register your company under private limited company, you need to have at least 20 members in one company, 20 owners in one company. But there is some improvement have been made in the Companies Act in 2016. Not necessary to have 20 owners in one company. Okay, minimum of one or single director can should be enough to open up this private limited company. Okay, so ada improvement lah. Sebelum ni kena at least 20 and above members. But there is some improvement. Okay, ada improvement. One owner ataupun one director can open the private limited company. Okay, next is all kinds of management and monetary financing in the company is contributed by and among members based on ownership percentage from the total agreed upon by all. Okay, so anything macam ada in term of the management, in term of the profit, in term of the profit that you want to share with other members, it depend on the percentage, ownership percentage. Okay, the more you invest in the company, the more percentage, ownership percentage that you will get, and the more profit you will get in return. Alright, so in terms of the profit sharing is based on the ownership percentage. So how to determine the ownership percentage is by the number of investment made by the owner. Okay, the more money you invest in that company, the more percentage ownership you will get. Okay, and then in return you will get more profit. Alright, shareholders' liability is limited to the amount of share owned or held by the members only. Okay, untuk shareholders' liability pula, under private limited company, that's why we call it as a private limited company, whereby we only the company only limited the amount of share owned or held by the members only. So they are not opening the share to public. Okay, only limited amount, okay, held by the members only. So that's why we call it as a private limited company. Okay, within specific people only. Right. The establishment of a company is quite complicated. Okay, for example, there is legal requirement to appoint a company secretary responsible for company secretarial function and must have an auditor responsible for financial matters and financial reporting. These are the disadvantages of having private limited company registration. If you want to open up private limited company, you must have the company. The company must have a company secretary and also company auditor in order to manage the company financing and also in terms of the reporting. Okay, so a bit complicated because when you need to have a specific position like secretary or auditor in the company, okay, you must prepare some amount for this position. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, a position of secretary and also auditor is not that cheap, so the companies must prepare lah for that amount of salary to pay for the secretary and also auditor. And then there are two legal documents that should be completed to form a private limited company, which is the Memorandum of Association (MOA) and also Article of Association. This is on in terms of the legal part. Okay, and then a private limited company is not allowed to invest. It's not allowed. It's not allowed to invite the public to buy company share. Ni yang I mentioned to you just now, because it is a private limited company, they are not allowed public to buy the company share. Okay, only specific members is allowed to buy the company share. Okay, this type of company must use sendirian berhad or SDN BHD at the end of the company name. Okay, number 5, cooperative. Okay, once again, let's recap. What is the first business entity? The first one? Anyone? The first business entity?
Sole proprietorship.
So proprietorship, and then number 2 we have
Partnership.
Partnership, and then
Limited liability partnership.
okay, and then number 4
Private
limited company.
okay, good. Okay, so this is number 5. Okay, kita tengok in term of the cooperative ataupun koperasi dalam in Malay. Okay, a cooperative, also known as cooperative, co-op, or co-op, okay, is an autonomous association of people united voluntarily to meet common economic, social, and cultural needs and aspiration through a jointly owned and democratically controlled business. Okay. So this one under the association. Normally under the association, it depends lah. Sometimes kita normally kita we found the cooperative inside the school, right? Okay, kita beli barang-barang dekat koperasi sekolah. So that is under association of teachers and parents. Okay, cooperative. In Malaysia, the minimum number of members in a primary cooperative is 100. Minimum number of members is 100. And in the farmers cooperative, it is 50. Okay. A cooperative has a separate legal entity and members. Directors, managers, employees are not liable for any debt incurred unless the debt are the result of recklessness, negligence, or fraud, or if the members were guarantors to the cooperative loan. Okay, so in terms of the legal entity, cooperative also has separate legal entity, just like LLP, private limited company. But if the debt or if the losses are due to the recklessness, are due to the negligence of the member or fraud that been done by the member, then the member must be responsible to pay the amount of losses. So ada exclusion dekat sini, even though there are separate entity between members and also the company, between members and also the cooperative, but if the losses incurred due to the negligence, due to the recklessness, due to the fraud done by the members, so the members need to pay the amount of the losses. Okay. A cooperative usually only allows a limited distribution of profit to members. Okay, so limited distribution of profit. Every cooperative society must be registered under the cooperative law, supervised by the Malaysia Cooperative Society Commission or Suruhanjaya Koperasi Malaysia SKM. Okay, so these are the benefit and also limitation, the pro and cons, okay, advantages and disadvantages of each of the business entity. The first one, we take a look on the sole proprietorship. Alright, in case of the profit, the owner will have 100% control of the profit earned from the business. So, kalau you get profit, okay, the owner can take all the 100% profit from the company. No problem at all. Okay, and then in terms of the registration, registering a sole proprietorship is easy and can be done by the owner him or herself. Another advantage of having sole proprietorship, easy to register the business. Just one owner that need to register him or herself with SSM. Okay. However, in terms of the limitation, capital is limited to the ability of the owner. Okay, it can be difficult to generate capital. So proprietorship do not issue stock or other money generating investment like corporation do. Okay, in terms of the sources, it all depend on the owner, the ability of the owner, whether he or she able to generate capital for the company or not. Okay, so these are the things that need to take a look to ensure that the company has some amount of capital. It depends on the owner, okay, owner of the company. Okay, more on the benefit and limitation. In terms of cost, the cost of registering is low, only 60 ringgit plus 10 ringgit for documentation. Okay, in terms of the management, it's also easy since only the owner will make decisions. Okay, kalau later on if you want to open up a sole proprietorship, it all depend on the owner whether what time they want to open up the business to the public, and then the holiday that they want to make to take. For example, if the owner want to have 7 days off of the business, you are allowed, okay, to do that because it all depend on the decision made by the owner. Okay, flexibility, less regulated by law, where no audited account is required to be submitted to SSM. Okay, in terms of the audit, okay, audit in terms of the financing of the company, okay, the less regulated lah. And then in terms of decision making, okay, of course, sole proprietor has complete control. And also in terms of a business affair, any transaction or business affair made in a partnership is private. So they did not need to share their business transaction to the public because anything that happen in the company is considered as a private. Okay, contrast to the public limited company, dekat sini kita tak ada explain to you, tapi in term of the public limited company whereby they need to announce, okay, especially on the financial statement for the company to the public, because the public limited company is open their share to the public. So that's why the public limited company must be transparent, must conduct a press conference in order to share their financial statement towards the public. Okay, tapi kalau if you open up a sole proprietorship, then you don't need to uh, uh, disclose, okay, the information to the public. Right. And then the limitation in terms of the decision making, if problem encountered are complex, the owner might have some difficulty in making decision. Yeah, because the owner is only one, so he or she must set, okay, the decision. If the owner facing a complex situation, so they might be having some difficulty. Okay, and then in terms of the liability, the business owner will be held responsible for any losses, debt, or violation coming from the business. The owner will be held directly because there is no separate entity between owner and also business in sole proprietorship. And then lack of business continuity. Okay, if The business does not continue if the owner become deceased or incapacitated, since they are treated as one and the same. So meaning to say, if the business owner unwell or deaf, okay, so that's the business. Okay, the business also uh, collapse lah, because business and owner is same entity. Okay, and then in terms of the taxes, owner must pay self-employment taxes. Hanya bayar cukai pendapatan, cukai individu sajalah. Okay, individual taxes. No need to pay for the company taxes. And then partnership, okay, partnership, dia punya benefit, of course, capital dia more, because having more partner, more capital will be available. Then in terms of the responsibility, of course, each partner have their own roles. Okay, ada dia orang punya job scope for each partner. So in terms of the management, okay, it should be no problem in order to manage the company. Then same goes to the flexibility. There is no audited account is required. Okay, and then in terms of decision making, partner can share views in a decision making situation. Alright, sebab the more partners, okay, then you get more ideas from each partner to settle a certain problem, for example. And for the business affair, any transaction or business affair made in a partnership is private. Okay, same goes to the sole proprietorship, sama. Then in terms of the limitation, the liability, okay, of the partner for the debt of the business is unlimited. Thus, each partner is liable for action taken by other partners, being liable for all the debts. Okay, in case one of the partner making a wrong decision that make the company losses some amount of money, so the other partner also must be liable to pay for the losses. Okay, I have one situation whereby my friends, okay, they open up one partnership company. So each of them contribute some amount of capital for the company. And then what happened is the company is about service, whereby they offer photography services, wedding photography, corporate photography, and so on. So what happened is one of the partner is um, not responsible for the pictures. Okay, I'm not sure how, but one of the partner is losing some of the pictures in one event. Okay, maybe because of the the storage or the pen drive or the memory card of the camera is broken, so all the pictures are lost. So the partner make the problem, and he ran away from that company. Cannot be reached. Call and message are not responded. So the rest of the partner must be responsible to pay back the apa ni, ganti rugi, the losses to the customer. So this is one of the disadvantage lah if you do the, or if you choose the partnership business entity. Alright. And then this agreement, obviously people are likely to have different ideas on how the business should be run, who should be doing what, and what the best interest of the business are. This can lead to disagreement and dispute. The more people, the more ideas, the more complex in order for you to finalize the ideas. Okay, disagreement, of course there will be some disagreement on certain thing, because all of the partners want to proceed with their ideas. So this is some of the limitation of having partnership. And then liability, ordinary partnership are subject to unlimited liability, which means that each of the partners share the liability and financial risk of the business. Sama-sama share, all of the members share the liability, share the risk in case of having losses or bankruptcy. Then in terms of the tax, partner must pay tax in the same way as sole traders. Okay. Then in terms of the profit sharing, partner share the profit equally if there is no partnership agreement prepared. Okay. So when you want to open up a partnership business, you need to have a partnership agreement. So in that agreement, you must mention, okay, how much of the percentage that the partner will receive in terms of the profit of the company. Okay, so if there is no partnership agreement, so you must divide the profit equally among the partners. Okay, because yeah, sometimes in one company there is one sleeping workers, sleeping partners. Okay, whereby he or she just contribute the capital without doing nothing. Okay, so maybe he or she might have lesser amount of percentage of profit. Okay, that need to be highlighted in that partnership agreement. But if you don't have the partnership agreement, so you must share the profit equally among the partners. And then in terms of the pro and con, in terms of the limited liability partnership, okay, owner, there is no limit on the numbers of owners. Okay, inexpensive. Okay, only 500 to register the LLP, and also they have separate legal entity, and also ease of compliance. Then in terms of the limitation, recognition. Okay, due to the tax benefit and tricky working of LLP, some parties do not recognize LLP as a legal business. This gives further burden to the owner to explain on LLP. Okay, LLP ni still new. Okay, some business are still not recognize the LLP business entity. So it might be trouble for LLP business owner. Okay, to get the recognition from other legal business. And also they have additional taxes, okay, in terms of the partnership, and also in terms of the personal tax, and also the credibility. Other businesses may, and many consumer or client do not see LLP as a credible business. Corporation gain much more respect and are generally more successful than LLP. Ni yang selalunya lah. In terms of the credibility, in terms of the recognition, okay, people are not really convinced to invest in the limited liability partnership compared to other corporation or private limited company and so on. Okay. And then perpetual succession. Okay. Any changes do not affect its existence, right or liability. Okay. Maknanya in case of the resignation or death of the partner, the company is still exists. Okay. And then in terms of the liability, all the risks of the business are spread out among partners. The partners will not be held personally liable for any business debt caused by wrongful act of another partner. Okay, they contrast tadi dengan partnership. Kalau partnership tadi, if one members doing a wrong mistake or a wrong move, okay, so all the partners must be liable. But in terms of the LLP, okay, the partner will not be held personally liable, right? Then tax benefit, each individual partner must file a variety of different tax form regarding the business. And flexibility, each partner has the ability to decide the amount they want to contribute and the number of partners are to be in the business. So depends on the decision making by the company, whether how many partner that they want to have in that business. Okay, last but not least, in terms of the private limited company, these are the pro and cons. I rasa I pun dah already mentioned to you earlier the benefit of having private limited company. Of course, in terms of the biggest benefit of having private company is limited liability. So in future, if the company goes through financial turmoil, the asset of shareholder and business are protected. So dia kontras lah dengan sole proprietorship and also partnership. Okay, because they are having a separate entity between business and also owner. And then they have professional status. Okay, management is better, and also credit term or financing well known because more creditors and bankers are convinced to give them the credit terms. Okay, compared to sole proprietorship and partnership. Maknanya if you open up a private limited company, then you want to get a loan from the bank, it's easier for private limited company to get the loan compared to sole proprietorship and partnership. However, the limitation is the registration process and formality, a bit complex contrast to the sole proprietorship and also partnership. There are a lot of processes that need to go through, okay, and also costly, and also secrecy. A company's information, example company owner information, is to be conveyed to all members and shareholders. This information can be obtained by public. Maknanya info regarding on the company's owner all be informed, okay, to the members of the shareholders. So there is no secret, okay. And then in terms of the winding up procedure, the procedure to wind up is quite complicated and is costly. It is best to register a company only if promoters are serious. So in case of the you want to close up the company, okay, the cost is also high and the process is also complicated. So these are the limitation of having private limited company. Okay, existence, the company continues to run even if the member die, lost or other reason. Dia contrast lah dengan sole proprietorship and also partnership tadi. And then separate legal entity, okay, expansion scope, right? Private companies can raise capital from individuals or investment companies for further expansion, okay. And then taxes, taxes of private limited company, they need to pay company taxes, depends on the government rate every year, okay, compared to no tax imposed to sole proprietorship and partnership. Sole proprietorship and partnership doesn't need to pay for the company tax, but for the private limited, they need to pay for the company tax, right? Cooperative, these are the benefit and limitation. Okay, easy formation, open membership, democratic control. Democratic control maknanya they need to have a annual grand meeting with the members, okay, to justify the decision that they want to make. Okay, they need to have voting from each member, okay, to make that decision. So it's good lah. Okay, democratic control. So meaning every person or every owner, okay, have the right to voice out their uh, option, okay. And then limited liability, okay, because they are separate entity with the personal properties. However, in terms of the limitation, they are having limited capital, okay, because the membership is generally confined to a particular section of the society. Alright, due to low rate of return, members do not invest more capital sebab rate of return dia lower compared to private limited. Because this is section of the society, macam persatuan, okay, persatuan. So most of the money that get in return from the sale of certain product or services under the cooperative will go under the society, will go under the persatuan, okay, to be used further to expand the cooperative, for example. So in terms of the capital, the return for the owner is not really high. Okay, so that's why when you are not having high return, of course you will have you will invest lower. Okay, sebab kenapa nak invest more when you only get lower return? Okay, like that lah. And then in terms of the management problem, okay, same goes to the partnership. Okay, sebab the more people, the more ideas, the more voices that need to be taken. Okay, and then lack of motivation because this is under the society, under the persatuan. So lack of motivation to expand the business further. Okay, next is elimination of middleman profit. Members or consumers control their own supply through cooperative. Thus, eliminating any middleman profit. Tak ada orang tengah, no third man. Okay, directly cooperative to the consumer. Okay, they can control. And then both central and state government provide all kind of assistance. Under cooperative, they will receive many kind of assistance from the government and also stable life. Okay, cooperative society has a fairly stable life and continue to exist for long period of time. Okay, compared to sole proprietorship and also partnership, they are not guaranteed to have stable life. Okay, but as for cooperative, yes. Okay. And then lack of cooperation, okay, in terms of the limitation and also government dependence, because too dependence on the government, so it is not good lah, okay, inadequacy of capital. So how to register the business? So these are the procedures. A startup entrepreneur will need to know where and how to register the business entity. There are only two places to register, okay, Company Commission of Malaysia or SSM. Ataupun if you want to open up cooperative, you need to register under the Cooperative Commission of Malaysia. Okay, for more detail, visit the website available ssm.com.my. So after this, please finalize your business idea among your group and then kena evaluate the opportunity, do the SWOT analysis, make sure there is a demand, make sure there is a customer that want to buy the product, make sure the price is available for the customer to buy, to pay for that amount to get the product. And then if you have finalized the ideas, then you need to register your company. Go to this website, www.ssm.com.my. Okay, and then please finalize whether you want to open up a sole proprietorship or partnership. But I encourage you to register under sole proprietorship because the documentation is not that complex, whereby only one owner need to register. One owner, the other way is the group leader itself must register under the SSM website. Okay. Okay, the summary, business registration is compulsory for all entrepreneurs. Okay, each of these business form has distinct characteristics, advantages and disadvantages, different scope of business activity, registration requirement, capital requirement, as well as registration procedure. So each of the business entity have their pro and con, have their distinct characteristic. I dah explain to you. So you need to finalize lah which one that you want to register for the business. But either two lah, either you want to register for sole proprietorship or partnership. Okay, that's all for the chapter 4. Any question? Ada apa-apa soalan nak tanya that you want to ask? Okay. So please finalize the grouping. Okay. Kalau if we look at the group assignment list, I share to you.
Ma'am, can you share the attendance QR code on more?
Yes?
Can you share the attendance QR code once more?
Attendance QR.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. After this, Ratul, I want to show to you the group assignment list first.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. For the group 3 and also group 5, there is one member still available, but is there anyone of you that still not registered the group assignment name list yet? Anyone? Okay, if no, then I will check one by one according to the list of the student in my class. Then I will assign accordingly lah. Okay. And then the idea, okay, jual tudung, okay. Kena spesifik lah, jual tudung macam mana, okay. Alright. And then I would like to remind to you regarding on the quiz, okay. There will be an online quiz if I'm not mistaken, on the week 8. Okay, and then chapters to be covered up to chapter 6, if I'm not mistaken. So right now, we have covered 4 chapters. Okay, so there are another 2 chapters remaining before we go to the online quiz. Okay, anything that you want to ask? Okay, before I end the session, I would like to share to you the QR code for those who not uh, scan yet. Okay. Madam, before we start business, we have registered SSM. Yes, you must register first. Register your business with SSM, and then later barulah you boleh sell the product through online. Okay, so since we only do the online business week, so you need to sell the product through the digital platform, any digital platform. For example, you want to sell through Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or any other digital platform. Okay, as long as it is digital, and you must register the company first before you sell the product. Because we not to avoid any other problem later on. Okay, any other question? Tak ada?
No, madam.
Okay, if not, then I end the session. And thank you so much for joining the lecture on this morning. Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, madam.
Okay,
Madam.
Thank you, madam.
okay,
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thanks, ma'am.
okay.